YouTube? You already know. Big Lou, the Latin assassin himself, tapping back in. What it do? Big Lou, NFZR2. Baby, baby. Bye. So check it out. That thumbnail this coming September, right? September 14th, 2024. From the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Going down, right? La Isla del Encanto, Puerto Rico, contra Mexico, right? Even though it's New Yorican, not an island-born Boricua, right? But nonetheless, it still falls under the Puerto Rico contra Mexico, right? Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Probably the longest standing rivalry in boxing to this day, right? Between two Latin American nations. There's not even a comparison with any other nations, right? No comparison whatsoever. Besides United States, United States versus Mexico or United States versus Puerto Rico, obviously. But I said Latin American nations, right? Puerto Rico is just a little bitty island, three and a half million people. So, anyways, it's going down. Like I said, I'm gonna get into the little bit of the tape. The tail of the tape for the two fighters, right? Obviously, we got Saul Alvarez, aka Canelo, Cashnelo, Cartelo, right? King Nelo. He got all kinds of names, right? He's a 4-division world champion, right? He's no longer undisputed at 168 super middleweight. He still holds the WBC, WBA, WBO, and the lineal, and I imagine the Ring magazine belt he still has too. But recently he was stripped by the IBF, right? I did a video on that already. So 34 years old, right? He's born in 1990. He just turned 34 about 2 weeks ago. Born July 18, 1990 in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, right? Like I said, he's a 4-division. Actually, he's a 4-division world champion. He never won a welterweight title, but he started out at welterweight and he went up to junior welterweight. He went from welterweight up to junior middleweight / super welterweight, and now it's even be called light middleweight, which is still doesn't matter. It's still 154 pounds. Then middleweight 160, and then superweight where he's currently at 168, and then he's fought a couple times at light heavyweight. Once beaten Sergey Kovalev for the IBF IBF lightweight title, and then he lost more recent to Dmitry Bivol for the WBA, and then he came back down to super middleweight. So that's where he stands at, right? He's 61 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, right? With 39 knockouts. He fights orthodox. If you guys don't know what that means he fights right-handed stance, right? If you fought left-handed stance, it would be called southpaw, right? Because your power punch when you're standing like this, your right's in the front. When you're southpaw, this one's it'd be considered south. Your power hand is just in the back, right? So if you're right-handed, it'd be like this. Your right hand's your power, it's in the back, right? Southpaw, they call it. Okay. He's only 5'7.5" with a 70.5 reach, right? So just think about this: 5'7.5", and he's fighting at 168, where he's dominated for the past few years, and he's also went up to 175. So if you really look at it, being only 5'7.5", that's really only like a welterweight, a junior welterweight, stature. You know what I'm saying? But he's beefed up and he punches hard as hell, and he's at 168. You know what I'm saying? This guy's been fighting since he was 15 years old, so he's been fighting longer than he's been alive. No, excuse me. Let me rephrase that correctly. He's 34. He's been fighting since he was 15, so that's 19 years. So he's been fighting. How would I say that? More than half his life. We'll just put it like that. And he's going up against Edgar Luis Berlanga Jr., a.k.a. the Chosen One, right? He's 27 years old, born May 18th, 1997, in Brooklyn, New York. Right. He's fought so far at middleweight, 160 pounds, and now at super middleweight, 168. He's currently 22-0. 22-0 with 17 knockouts, and 16 of those knockouts came in the first round. He fights orthodox. He's 6'1", and he has a 73-inch reach. So he's got a 2.5-inch reach on Canelo, and he's 4.5, 5.5 inches taller. Yeah, he has 16 first round knockouts. So I seen a list the other day, and it had all the greats, Mike Tyson, all these greats, and he was number one for the most first round knockouts. Which, in my opinion, that's awesome. That's great. That's excellent to see. But 16 of his 22 fights were first round knockouts, so he don't have that much experience, right? Now, since he's Puerto Rican, Boricua, I'm going with him, right? I'm going with him for an upset. Just that's the way I roll. You know what I'm saying? But let's be real here. Jaime Munguia just fought Canelo. Jaime Munguia was an ex-champion at 154. He only vacated the belt because he vacated to go up in weight, right? Or unless they stripped it from him, which I'm pretty sure he went up in weight, and that's why he didn't have the belt no more. It wasn't for a loss, right? And he had almost 50 fights. He had 48 fights, I believe, professional fights, which is double what Berlanga has, and then some. And he's been in there, he has a lot of experience. So I don't, I'm just keeping it real here from what the facts and the stats say, right? Berlanga don't have no experience. I don't see him going in there doing anything unless he catches a lucky punch or something. And, he catches a lucky punch to break Canelo down where, he's so discombobulated. Maybe if he hits him in the back of the ear somehow or something, and then he's just on him, maybe the ref stops it like that, or he catches that 1-2 lucky punch where he drops him and he can never get back his senses. But as far as going in there, going the distance with him and outboxing him, out fighting him for 12 rounds, man, I don't know. It's just, it's not there. When you look at his resume, it's not there. Like I said, he's got 22 fights. 16 of those fights were knockouts in the first round, meaning he's only got 6 fights that he's went more than a round with. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple of them he went the distance, but what I'm saying is just it's not, the experience is not there. You're going in there with a guy who's been fighting since he was 15. He's now 34. You know what I'm saying? He's a four division world champion, right? Multiple major world titles he's won. He currently has 3 belts right now. You know what I'm saying? Plus the lineal name, and I'm pretty sure he still has a Ring Magazine title. But Canelo's has a lot of experience, man. I just don't see it happening. But like I said, I'm still going for Berlanga, right? He's only one of a few Puerto Rican fighters that are out there right now, and at one point we didn't have any. Everybody was old and retired, or they were getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like some years back where we had 3 or 4 at a time. It seemed like all the time we'd have 3 or 4, worthy fighters out of Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? If it was Rosario, Gomez, Benitez, who else? Jake the Snake Rodriguez, excuse me. If it was John Molina, Trinidad, Camacho, what's his name? Wilfredo Vázquez Sr., you know what I'm saying? Then later Junior and Juan Manuel Lopez. And, there's been a lot over the years, you know what I'm saying? Carlos Ortiz, and then we had what was it? Ortiz, and we had Jose Torres, right? Del Val, we had, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of fighters, and now it's just, Berlanga, there's just a couple other ones. So, I'm going for him to win. Hope for the best, and hope for the best, and hope the worst don't happen, I guess, best way to say it. But I just don't see, in my opinion, I don't think Berlanga's this unique boxer, right? I don't believe he has this nice. He don't have the craft like a De La Hoya or a Mayweather. He don't box like that. You know what I'm saying? He does have skills, and not, obviously, if you're a professional and you're 22-0, you got some skills. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in my opinion, most of his skills at this point are power skills. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens going forward. It's a hell of a hill to climb, right? I'm not gonna say mountain, but I should say mountain. This is Canelo, right? Canelo, like I said, the proof's in the pudding. Look, 61, 2-2. You know what I'm saying? Between losses, it was like 10, 11 years or something like that. At least 10, right? From Mayweather in 13 till Bivol in 2022. So what, 9 years? 9 years in between losses, right? And he got a couple draws, right? With Triple G one, and the other one, I don't know who the other one's with. Somebody earlier in his career. But you know, it, uh, it is what it is. So we'll see where Berlanga, what the game plan is coming out. Um, Canelo, in my opinion, obviously, it hits harder than anybody Berlanga's been in there with thus far. I don't even think, and I hate even talking like this towards Berlanga, even though I'm just being honest, and it's the truth. It's truth, right? He wasn't even ready for like a John Ryder, in my opinion, right? A Munguia, maybe he could have fought Munguia. You know what I mean? But Canelo Alvarez, Benavides, I think they'll run right through him. To be honest, I mean, I'm just being honest. But I'm still going with Berlanga. We'll see what happens. Also on the undercard, you got uh, uh, Lara going against Danny Garcia. Finally, I don't know if Lara at one time he had the WBA regular belt, middleweight. Um, so I don't know if that. Let me see. Let me find out if he still has that belt. Because I'm not sure. Let's see. Lara. I don't even know how to say his name. Edis Landi. Edis Landi. Lara. There it is. Boom. A Cuban. He's a Cuban American. A Cuban. Cubano. Oye, mira. Guajiro. Huahuancon. Okay. Erislandi Lara Santoya. He's born April 11, 1982. So he's 41. Yeah, he's 41. Okay, so yeah, he's the current WBA middleweight champ. Um, it could be. He could be the. He could be the. You see, he's got a gold medal in Cartagena in 2006. He got a silver in 2005 Moscow, and he's got the World Championships in 2005 a gold. So he's a decorated fighter, just like most Cuban fighters that came up through the boxing program there. Let's see what this says. He's 30. He's 30. 30, and he's 30 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws. Let's find out if he's retained the WBA middleweight title. Okay, retained. Yeah, he's got the. Okay, in his second to last fight, he got a TKO and over Gary O'Sullivan that he retained the WBA regular middleweight title. But then his next fight is against Michael Zarafa, which he catches a TKO in the second round, and it says retain WBA middleweight title. So I think they switched them because it would have said regular, like all these other wins he got. It says regular, and this last one it says he says WBA middleweight champ. So he at some point WBA switched them. Switched them from a. Let me see if I can find them. Switched them from. Let's see. They switched them from the regular to the from the regular champ to the super. But I can't find it. Let me see. Yeah, that's taking me way back to 30s. Hold on. Sorry, folks. I'm about to shut this down though in a second. I just want to get this out of the way and see if what built. Um, so I don't know where that would put him at. You know what I mean? Okay, primary champion vacant. Uh, says Erilandi's Lara primary champion. And it says vacant, so I don't know if he has the regular. Yeah, it's not really being clear about that. So, anyways, reason I'm bringing that up, and I was trying to find that out, is because if Danny Garcia wins, he'll become a 3 division champion, right? But, and there's a big but, and the reason why I'm saying a big but, because it depends who you are, and what your opinion about it is, because people like Paulie Malignaggi, they don't consider the WBA regular belt to be, they don't consider the WBA regular belt as a major world title. They only consider the WBA super belt as a major world title. So I guess that's a how do you feel about it? Because I remember even Miguel Cotto was a 3 division champ, right? Junior welterweight, actually 4, excuse me, middleweight and super and junior middleweight, and he, Paulie only calls him a 3 division champ because he don't consider one of those belts was a WBA regular, so he don't count one of the division as a champ as Cotto being a world champion, right? So I don't know. Me personally, I think a WBA regular belt's still a title. You know what I'm saying? You still wear the belt round, you still hold it up when for weigh-ins and press conferences and all that. Post conference if you win, so you know what I mean? It's like second place, kind of, in a sense. It's like the WBC and then the franchise, kind of, if that makes sense. It's kind of like interim in a sense, you know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll be tapping back in with another video later today. Gone.